Imagine the two people you trust most in the world. Your best friend, the brother you chose. And your fiancé, the love of your life. Now, imagine them standing in front of a packed boardroom, delivering a passionate speech about honesty, integrity, and trust. Their faces are sincere. Their words are convincing. And you're sitting in the front row, watching them, your heart beating a slow, steady drum. Because you're the one who orchestrated this entire moment. And you know that in exactly 10 minutes, you are going to use their own words to burn their world to the ground. If you believe that revenge is a dish best served cold, and publicly, then do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Because the story I'm about to tell you isn't just cold. It's absolutely ice cold. You're not going to want to miss a single second of this. The bond between Liam and Ethan wasn't just business. It was forged over late-night study sessions in architecture school, sketching dreams on stained coffee shop napkins. Liam was the visionary, the quiet genius who could see symphonies in steel and glass. Ethan was the charismatic frontman, the one who could sell those dreams to the world. Together, they created Apex Architects. Their friendship was the concrete foundation of the entire company. And then there was Chloe. Liam met her at an industry event, and he fell hard. She was brilliant, vibrant, and she understood his passion. When he introduced her to Ethan, they became an inseparable trio. It felt perfect. Liam's fiancée, his best friend, and the thriving empire they were all building together. Dinners, weekend trips, celebrating every new contract, it was a life Liam had designed as carefully as any of his buildings. But even the strongest foundations can crack. It started small. A whisper of wrongness. Liam, being the meticulous man he was, personally reviewed the firm's quarterly expenses. He was reconciling the budget for the massive Olympus Tower project when he saw it. An expense charge from Chloe's corporate card. A $500 dinner for two at a famously romantic restaurant, in a city where the business meeting had ended that morning. He cross-referenced it with Ethan's travel log. Ethan had claimed a separate dinner expense across town. But the timelines, they were too convenient. At first, he told himself it was nothing. A mistake. A coincidence. But the doubt was a splinter in his mind, and he couldn't let it go. He started looking closer. A hotel upgrade here. A car service there. Two separate paths of expenses that, when overlaid, formed a single, secret journey. The air in his perfect life grew thin. Chloe's late nights at the office and Ethan's last-minute client meetings started to feel different. He could feel the shift in energy when he walked into a room. The way their laughter would stop just a little too quickly. The way they avoided his gaze. He had to know. He couldn't build his future on a foundation of lies. The decision to hire a private investigator felt like a betrayal in itself. But the truth, when it arrived, was so much worse. It came in a plain manila envelope. Liam sat in his car, the engine off, the silence of the parking garage deafening. His hands trembled as he opened it. And there it was. His world, shattered in glossy 4x6 prints. Photos of Chloe and Ethan. Holding hands walking into a boutique hotel. Kissing under a street lamp, thinking no one was watching. Documents detailing their shared rooms, their secret trips disguised as business. The pain was physical. A white-hot agony that stole the breath from his lungs. The two pillars of his life were the very forces conspiring to tear it all down. He didn't storm into the office. He didn't confront them. The rage was there, a roaring fire in his chest, but something else rose from the ashes, a chilling, crystalline focus. He was an architect, after all. And he realized, in that moment, that he was about to design his masterpiece. Not of steel and glass, but of ruin. His stage would be the Golden Spire International Award. It was the biggest opportunity in Apex's history. Winning it would make them legends. And this year, there was a new requirement, a gift from the heavens, a presentation on ethics, transparency, and leadership integrity. The next morning, Liam walked into the board meeting, a mask of calm professionalism on his face. When the topic of the Golden Spire came up, he spoke. "I have a suggestion for the ethics presentation," he said, his voice even. "Ethan is the face of our company, and Chloe is our voice. They embody our values. I think they should take the lead on this." He watched their faces. He saw the flicker of panic in Ethan's eyes, the way Chloe's smile became a fraction too tight. But they were trapped. To refuse would be to admit something was wrong. So they agreed, their voices bright and hollow. For the next 2 weeks, Liam watched them. He saw them huddled in conference rooms, crafting speeches about the very values they desecrated every day. He listened to them practice words like trust and integrity until the words themselves felt like a joke. And while they were building their stage of lies, Liam was assembling his dossier of truth. Every fake expense report, every hotel booking, every damning photograph. He organized it all into a cold, clinical, and undeniable timeline of their betrayal. He needed to push them. To make them feel cornered not by him, but by the world. One evening, he left his laptop in the main conference room, seemingly by accident. Open on the screen was a draft of an email to the Golden Spire Ethics Committee. It was vague, speaking of an anonymous tip about a severe ethical breach in a competing firm's leadership. The description was a perfect mirror of their situation. As he'd predicted, it sent them into a tailspin. He overheard their panicked whispers. They thought some unknown third party had discovered their secret and was about to expose them. And in their fear, they made their final, fatal mistake. Ethan, ever the smooth operator, went to some of the board members. He painted a picture of a stressed, overworked Liam. "He's becoming erratic," Ethan would say with false concern. "I'm worried he's not fit to lead us through this." They were trying to sideline him. To discredit him. To save themselves. They had no idea they were simply laying the final paving stones on the path to their own execution. And Liam, the architect of it all, simply watched and waited for the day of the presentation. The day arrived. The boardroom was packed. The air hummed with nervous energy. Ethan and Chloe took the stage. They were brilliant. They spoke of Apex Architects as a family, built on a foundation of unshakable trust. Their performance was flawless, convincing, and utterly hypocritical. The board was eating it up. As they finished to a round of applause, Liam saw the smug look of relief on Ethan's face. Then, Liam walked to the podium. He didn't look at them. He looked at the board. "Thank you, Ethan, Chloe." "A powerful presentation," he began, his voice dangerously quiet. "Before we proceed, I feel it's crucial that we address a few internal inconsistencies with the core values you've just so eloquently described." A hush fell over the room. The applause died instantly. Instead of speaking, Liam just clicked to the first slide of his own presentation. It was a photo of him, Ethan, and Chloe from the day they founded the company. Young, happy, full of hope. In huge, bold letters across the bottom was one word: trust. Part 2. He clicked again. The next slide showed Ethan's and Chloe's doctored expense reports side by side. Highlighted in red were the conflicting dates, the impossible timelines. A collective gasp rippled through the room. Click. A map showing their official business hotel on one side of the city, and the boutique hotel they'd actually booked on the other. Click. Hotel receipts. Dinner bills. Car services. One by one, the cold, hard facts filled the screen. Liam didn't add commentary. He didn't need to. The evidence spoke for itself, weaving a story of deceit that was directly tied to company funds and company time. He was framing it not as a heartbroken fiancé, but as a concerned co-founder protecting the firm from a catastrophic breach of fiduciary duty. He stole a glance at them. The color had drained from Ethan's face. He was staring at the screen, his mouth slightly open in disbelief, his mask of charm shattered. Chloe had shrunk in her chair, her face buried in her hands, her body trembling with silent sobs of pure humiliation. Then came the final slide. A candid photo from the PI, Ethan and Chloe, kissing. The date stamp on the bottom was from the very day they were supposed to be closing the Olympus Tower deal. The room was dead silent. The board members stared, their faces a mixture of shock and disgust. Liam looked directly at Ethan for the first time. "Our partnership agreement," Liam said, his voice ringing with cold authority, "has a disrepute clause. Any founder engaging in conduct that brings the firm into public or professional disgrace forfeits their position and their shares." He didn't need to say another word. It was over. Within hours, lawyers were involved. Ethan was forced to sell his multi-million-dollar stake in the company he helped build for pennies on the dollar. He was out. Chloe was fired for misuse of company funds and breach of contract. She walked out of the office with a single box of her belongings, not making eye contact with anyone. In the end, Liam stood alone in the penthouse office of Apex Architects, looking out at the city skyline he had helped to shape. He had won. He had saved his empire from the people who had betrayed him. But victory can be a lonely throne. He had surgically removed the cancer from his company, but the operation had cost him his best friend and the woman he loved. He proved that trust, once shattered, can be wielded as the most devastating weapon of all. Narrator's tone becomes friendly and direct. What do you guys think? Was the revenge justified, or did Liam go too far? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below. If this story of calculated justice gave you chills, make sure you smash that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more of the best revenge stories you'll find anywhere. Thanks for listening.